Hi everyone, and thank you so much for being on this video that will provide you with the how-to guide on making your very own free Twitter bot without any programming knowledge whatsoever. Now, first of all, a disclaimer. I know that you probably, like me before, have been around looking for videos that offer you this opportunity and that you probably got burned often. In what ways? You either came across some part of the instruction that isn't actually something that you can do if you have zero programming experience and you have to have a lot of programming experience. This will not be such an instance in this, or more precisely, there will be no such instances in this video. The second thing you probably got across that got you really mad was the moment when the same instructional process puts you against a place where you have to buy something or have something which you don't want to get or have. You don't want to waste any money in your Twitter bot and you got really pissed off. There will be no such thing in this video. So it will allow you to make a free, completely free Twitter bot without any programming knowledge. But now there's the second disclaimer. It will provide you with a relatively limited environment. So you won't be able to do many of the things you might be looking to do, which is basically in the domain of spamming. There are some limitations to these procedures and the Twitter bot you're going to make, but aside of that, you will be getting an instruction how to make a fully functional Twitter bot without any prior knowledge in any programming language, apart from a really basic system of creating script that will be clear to you in a matter of minutes, thanks to my brilliant explanation of the same procedure. Or at least we hope it's going to be. So a little bit of background. You're here probably because you did this. You Googled how to make a Twitter bot or any kind of a version of the same Twitter inquiry or Google inquiry that would allow you to create a Twitter bot for your Twitter account. Now, why do you need a Twitter bot? Who knows? You want to automate some process of your tweeting procedures, and that's super cool with me. Of course, many people around the world and around the net are using numerous, probably in the millions, bots for all kinds of purposes. We probably know them best from nefarious news articles and news reports about things like political bots and stuff like that, but there are plenty other bots as well. Here's also an interesting part. Twitter, as a company, is actually allowing you to make bots and even supporting some of the efforts of creating automated accounts. At the same time, the flip side of that medal is that Twitter is really mad when you want to make a bot that does something which is against the terms of service of the same platform. Mainly spamming or impersonating people who are supposedly real human beings without being actually a human being and being a bot. So there are a lot of pitfalls, and the space around Twitter bots is pretty narrow, because on one side you have your support from Twitter, which is kind of nebulous and unclear, and on the other side you have many pitfalls and actual really dangerous moments for your Twitter account, where Twitter might decide to put a temporary ban or ban you altogether and close down the account completely. So the space is kind of tricky, but still that doesn't stop many people from wanting to make bots and from making bots as well. You're probably one of them. So when you got to that position, you went on Google and you wanted to figure out how does one make a Twitter bot. As you can see, you have your standard courses that allow you to make Twitter bots. This is Udemy and stuff like that. These are paid things, which also show you and also the number of results is pretty huge. It's in the hundreds of millions, because there's a lot of interest. Twitter is incredibly popular and people want to make bots. From there on, you have your guides, and all of them, when you take a closer look, have this thing in them: Python. The videos that are popular, I hope this is going to become one of them, but because it provides you with the exact thing you want to find, which is no Python, no programming experience, all of them include Python, which is, in short, this is my non-programming explanation for all of you non-programmers. is basically a way of setting up a Twitter bot that uses a server, which has a hosting point, that could be your computer or your script, but has to be on a different location than your World Wide Web. It has to have a home server from which the script will run. The script is the basic programming set which then runs the bot. So you program your bot, you create a script, you place that script on your, for example, computer or some other online location where you have your hosting service, and from there you run it as the best explanation as how I comprehend it is as a website which has to have a hosting and then is basically run on Twitter in a similar manner as a regular user would be, only that user isn't a human being with hands and phone and brain that's activated to create tweets or do any other procedure. Instead, it simply does, the script does it for that user. That's complicated. You need to have a lot of experience. You need to have the ability to set up this kind of a server, specialized server. And it might, at the end of the day, be not that complex, but it still isn't for beginners. You probably tried it, you probably saw it, and you concluded that it's nowhere near anything you can do without a pretty substantial knowledge in programming and at least the ability to understand Python and how to set up the server. Furthermore, the same bot will not run automatically, it will run as the server is active. So you can turn off your computer and leave the bot running unless you have external storage or external hosting from which the bot runs, and yada yada yada. It's complicated. The rest of the links also. Now here is the place where actually the sellers of Twitter bots come in through these kinds of PR texts where they're selling the idea of having the ability to create bot for free, but it's not actually for free. You're paying for their service, which is also an option, but I'm personally not interested in that, and I'm guessing you're either because you're here. Now, after this long introduction, let's check out the bot that I actually made. And here it is. It's called the Epic Narrative Keyword Tool. And it's a bot that creates this. A set of tweets built from individual nodes that then generate a storyline for a movie, a novel, or any kind of narrative work of art. Now, I know this isn't probably what you're looking for. You're not looking for making a bot that sends out script ideas, but let's check out one of those ideas in practice. A fable of tragedy set in a haunted circus. It follows a soldier who has to restore the monarchy. Escaped convict stands in the way. It culminates in "It was all a dream" ending. There are many more tweets like that. Now I did this because I'm a game designer and I want to kind of work and experiment with things like that, but you don't have to make a Twitter bot that creates narratives. You can make anything else, but this is the main ability that your bot will provide you with. That's the ability to automatically tweet out auto-generated messages. So it's not going to retweet things for you, it's not going to follow things for you, it's just going to publish things for you, and that's the main option this video and instruction actually offers, the ability to share predefined tweets on an automatic manner without any influx of your activity, direct activity, besides just setting up the Twitter bot and allowing it to run. Now, how do you do that? You do it with this beautiful thing. This beautiful thing is called Cheap Bots Done Quick. It's a really unseemly website. It's a really unseemly setup with this whole text and the sign in with Twitter button, which many of us learned to avoid because of the fear of kind of scamming and allowing access to our Twitter accounts that are unlegitimate. This isn't one. It's created with really cool people. It has a really cool service. It's completely free. I got in touch with people behind the same service. They're really friendly and really cool, and they're actual people, so you can do it as well using this contact here. But the whole point is that it's legitimate, it runs, and it provides you with the things you're looking for. You can have your bot up and running without the need to do Python on any kind of hosting service or any kind of server, and it will allow you to create it without zero knowledge of programming. I keep saying that over and over again because it really works like that. So let me show you what you came to see actually. You go sign in with Twitter, you need to have your account ready. And with it, you get your dashboard. Again, it's pretty unseemly, it doesn't look like much, but it works. So bots, like it says, are written in tracery. I'm still not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Tracery, it's a generative grammar specified as JSON string. Now, again, I know that you probably don't know what the hell does that mean, but it's actually really simple. Let me show you. This is my bot here. Again, it looks super complicated, but it's super simple again. And I'm going to open several things here. These are on GitHub hosted bots. We are going to not look at them. This is a dead website, this as well. Okay, tracery tutorial. Let's see if I can find the visual tutorial, visual editor. This should be it. Hopefully it works. Okay, it works. Awesome. So for starts, let me explain how the tracery works. It creates a really simple string of nodes where you place different elements, verbal elements. And these are then combined into tweets using your system of connecting these nodes, and the same tweet is then created. Next and further tweets are created by the script combining these nodes and alternating between different elements, individual elements in nodes. So you have your individual nodes, which are comprised of individual elements, and then you have your kind of compiler, let's call it like that, which takes all of the nodes into a single tweet, but alternates between individual elements in each node. Crazy, complicated, and I didn't explain it probably greatly, but hey, bear with me. So this is it. You have your nodes are name and occupation. As you can see, here's the name, here's the occupation. And the individual elements are Bertram, Arabella, and Cecil. Occupation individual elements are Baker, Wizard, Soldier. And the compiler, let's call it like that, which is called origin, uses the node name, then adds the word the, and adds the node occupation. And what do we get? We get the combo of all of these individual elements. So we get Cecil the Wizard, or Arabella the Baker, or Cecil the Baker, or Bertram the Baker. As you can see, the script combines these, alternates between them, and then forms individual blocks of content that is actually something that the script on Cheapbots Done Quick, the additional script, will tweet out. Now, that's all you need to understand from the actual JSON. So let's just show you the code. This is how the code looks like. It has this step structure that I always hated in any kind of a programming language, but I made it a lot clearer. No problem. It was all for you, dear viewers. And it will be more apparent and easier to read. But that's the gist of the whole tracery process. That's all you have in it here. And this is the better explanation on Gbots Done Quick. The site will automatically expand your text starting from the origin node and then tweet it on a fixed schedule. It generates a duplicate tweet or a tweet over 2080 character. It will retry up to 5 times. So it wants to avoid duplicates and wants to avoid tweets that are not able to be tweeted out because of the limits that Twitter has on its length of text. So let's check out my bot, my beautiful written bot. Let's consult the visual setup once again. So we have genre, environment, protagonist, goal, antagonist, outcome, all of which are individual nodes. And this is how they're set up in the origin. This is the place where the magic happens, where the tweet is actually formulated. As you can see, it has intro, genre, set in, which is a element that's present in every tweet. Every tweet I tweet out has a set in. As you can see, set in, set in, set in. That's a set piece. Set in is a set piece. So that's a element that's always present. So environment, it follows, and again, a set piece, a protagonist, this is a node, who has to, again, another node goal. A antagonist goal stands in the way, again, a set piece. It culminates, this is all a set piece, in outcome. So all of these nodes are here. It's a bit different structure from my original schematic, but it works in the same manner. Here's the genre. This is the genre node. As you can see, individual elements are action, adventure, sci-fi, drama, war, romance, comedy, tragedy. Environment. Places where the story takes place. Major modern city, fantasy world, desert landscape, rundown town, blah blah blah, so forth. Protagonist. Who is the main character? Woman, man, child, soldier, crafty librarian, washed out detective, medical doctor, magician, animal trainer, so forth. Goal. Again, save a family. Outcome, before we have the antagonist, somebody who wants to stop the protagonist in some way or hinder the same process. Outcome. And intro. Intro is basically something I change without any meaning, just so that the tweets don't look identical at their start. So we have a tail off, a story off, a grand tail off, a fable off. Pretty similar, but still it gives it a bit of different visual construction, that when somebody comes and watches or looks at the Twitter bot, it sees kind of not exactly the same start for everything. Not a big deal, I could probably do without it, but I still left it in. Okie dokie. With that, you have your script. That's all you need. This is all that you need for your Twitter bot to run. And here's the scheduler. So let me show you again how the tweets are generated. This is some kind of a way to test the setup. A story of romance set in a major modern city. It follows an animal trainer who has to free a special wild beast. A nefarious baker stands in the way. It culminates in a happy ending. And I could even tweet that manually out, but I don't want to. Instead, I will use this, which is the second biggest part of the whole Gbots Done Quick platform. The scheduler, let's call it that. It allows you to send out tweets using a different schedule, as you can see, from every 10 minutes to once per year. It allows you to reply to tweets and to share whether or not the tweets were made with Gbots Done Quick. When you have all this set up, you simply need to go to save. And your Twitter bot is up and running from that moment on your Twitter account. It will continue to run as long as you want using the schedule. Now, I noticed that sometimes there's a bit of a glitch, and for some reason the tweets don't go out. So it may be something that's a work in progress on the platform, but it's not actually a big problem or an issue of the whole platform, more of a element that is probably getting set, or I'm not sure what's happening with it, but you can easily repair it, so to say, when you go back into the script, back into the platform, and do another save after some edits, even though it's not the problem of your script, but probably something of the platform. Let's check out some other really cool bots that were made with this. Here you go. Okay, I need to go back and no, these are Gbots Done Quick. Let's try it like this. I'm missing keys here. We need to find one of the bots that is created with Gbots Done Quick. Okay, let me just sign out or log out. Let's go back to Gbots and find it from there. Desert landscape. I'm not sure where it is, but let's check out some other. Desert landscape is a Twitter bot that's created to create ASCII art or text art landscapes, and it's really cool. So this is a verbal text, a bot who teleports you magic and inspiring places. Okay, so you're hidden in a market hall, blah, blah, blah. Similar to my epic narrative tool. Lots of eyes. As you can see, these are using these symbols that are then combined into weird things. There are also ways to use color and some visual elements through the same Twitter bot. I'm not sure how to do it, but if you want, you can try it out. It looks amazing. Again, visual arts, garden that uses symbols. You can use even symbols and emojis, not only words. These are some other bots. Okay. Tiny Gallery is a brilliant one. I love it. As you can see, it uses emojis and text art to create something that looks like Tiny Gallery. It's amazing. It's really smart, and I love it how the whole setup is defined and executed. So it's a brilliant example of the artistic elements in the same bot. Patterns, soft landscapes, again another visual element which can be used with some additional knowledge. I'm not sure how to do it exactly, but I'm guessing it's not that complicated either. This is verbal. This was Infinite Deserts. Here it is. This is awesome to me because again it's just combining elements which are text elements to create desert landscapes. As you can see, you have your sky, you have your ground, and you have your first field of view, and the results are pretty cool. So that's probably my favorite, along with Tiny Galleries, examples of how to create these awesome things with nothing more than access to cheap bots done quick. So as you can see, cheap bots done quick is the way to go if you want to create a Twitter bot. It's a bot that tweets out messages. I know that some of you want to create bots that do things like follow other users or like other users or retweet other users. I'm not sure if you can do this with Tracery. Maybe you can, but you can still create a Twitter bot like this that can allow you to tweet automatic messages super easy, super clear, and super fast. And most particularly importantly to underline, without a single buck invested in the same process. So if you can, support the creators of TwitterBot done quick, because it's a super cool initiative, and it's great to have something like this that allows you to make awesome Twitter bots. This is all from this tutorial. Hopefully you found it interesting, hopefully you found it useful, and I'm hoping I'm not one of those people who tried to sell you something cool and you ended up really being only mad at me for not actually getting what you're looking for. Leave a comment below if you found it useful. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. I have a whole bunch of things I want to plug to you. If you're still here, you might want to learn about them and give me $1 for my effort, you know. Of course, don't forget to share your video if you found it interesting with your friends who also want to create Twitter bots for some reason. But my plug of a bunch of things. In the description below, you can find, besides the actual link to Twitter bots done quick, to my book, which is How to Overcome Procrastination Using Psychology. So if you waste time, if you find yourself procrastinating too often, my book can help you. It's really short, it's really sweet. People tend to love it. I'm also a psychologist. I had a lot of experience working with people who had problems with procrastination. So I wrote this book that should be helpful. And check it out. It's $3 or maybe free if you're on Amazon Prime user. So link in the description below. All of this, I started exploring Twitter bots through my podcast, which is called I'm Gaming Podcast. Link is there in the description below for it as well. It has a Patreon page, so if you really found this interesting, like incredibly interesting, consider, I don't know, pledging $1 per month to my efforts, where I do things like make Twitter bots and other interesting things, at least in my view, in domains like gaming, entrepreneurship, ventures, gaming nostalgia, and a lot of stuff I'm into, which I like to think about as a singular domain of unified interest, even if that's not a thing. So that's in the description below. I have probably other things that I could plug, but these two are more than enough. So my Patreon page for my, that's actually two, so these three are enough. My Patreon page for my podcast, which is called I'm Game Podcast. On this channel, you can watch it as well. And of course, my book on overcoming procrastination link is again in the description below. So please do check them out. And again, thank you so much for watching this video. I was talking in it for non-stop for like 30 minutes or a little bit less. I really appreciate it if you stuck through it until the end. Hopefully you make these bots. I wish you all the best. Again, a huge thanks to the creators of Twitter bots and cheap bots done quick. And that's it for this introduction into Twitter bots that you can make for free without any programming knowledge. My name is Ivica. Again, huge thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and check all of my plugged links in the description below as well. And have a great day with your new Twitter bot. Until my next video. Bye bye.